Hey, it's Sammy. On Friday, January 3rd, we took 5 trades today, 1 break even, 4 winning trades for 118 points. We were a little bit lazy this morning because we traded in the afternoon yesterday and had that bonus 76 points late in the afternoon. So we're doing pretty good this week for the new year. Let's take a look at these trades and how everything's breaking down. Our first trade is a break even. Now we're trading at 8 a.m. to basically 10:30 a.m. East Coast time. So when we're trading pre-market, we know that the moves are going to be smaller. There's not quite as much volume in the market. So we make sure we are conservative and we don't experience losses. So sometimes we get break-even trades like this trade right here. You can see to the left where we entered as we broke out of pivot. That's that pink line, and that green line is our deviation 1. So we are trying to get up to the deviation 2 line, which is that turquoise line, and the data just completely starts decaying, and of course price goes back and takes us out with a break-even trade. We can move on to the next opportunity, no harm, no foul. So you can see to the left as that last trade, that last long failed, we came back down, hit pivot one more time, hit the 200 moving average, hit the deviation 1. The data kicked in over to the left there at that purple candle. That's excessive momentum. So let's see how this trade plays out. Remember, the trade is already protected. The stop loss is in profit. There is no risk at this point. Now, as we're starting to challenge that previous high, we're taking it out. We're just going to go ahead and lock in 24 points. We're kind of stuck in this fun little range right here, and we're cycling data as we come down and test the pivot. We're testing the value area high. We're testing the deviation in the 200 moving average. So we're going to go along again and see if we can't get up to that ceiling or the high of day for today. So we have our stop loss moved into that profit zone. It's so important to keep your head in the game and not experience losses. We do this with a statistical tracking of our drawdown. Also, we're noticing that there's a 5-minute resistance zone here. We're going to go ahead and just lock in right here with 26 points. All right, so now as we're rounding out through that turquoise line, you can see we've got this high of day. We finally hit that high of day. We've taken out the deviation 2 line. This is pre-market still. We've came above that 5-minute resistance, which is no longer valid. We've got a ton of great data going our direction, and we're challenging that close from 2 days ago. We're also looking at a target potentially of that 3rd deviation line up there with a can zone. Now we're real close to open. We're about 10-15 seconds away from the open. We're going to go ahead and shut this trade down with 26 points because the open is probably going to have a little bit of pullback, a little bit of wicking action. So let's see what happens. This is the open trade for Friday now, so we're going to go ahead and jump back in. All the data held, you can see we've got tons of sentiment, a couple volatility breaks. We've got excellent momentum here. We're going to push right up through. We're going to follow that GAN, that purple line. We're going to follow that deviation 3 line all the way up to see if we can't take a bunch of points out of the open. See, we have all of our data as the trade starts to rip. It's moving incredibly fast out of character. We're going to go ahead and lock in 42 points.